I'm glad to be here. I'm happy for those who have joined, for those who have managed to join this conversation. For those who haven't, I hope maybe next time we'll have such an opportunity. But for now, my name is Tracy Onyango. Yeah, this is me physically. For those who don't know me, this is me physically. And Tracy is a youth advocate, an adolescent champion. Yeah, and I'm more of community work. So if you want to get to know me more, maybe you can link, yeah, and maybe interact with my LinkedIn and get to know what I do. But at the moment, I'm passionate about community, about it, environment, and everything regarding the community, especially the informal settlements, because I've been able to work with different types of people. So yeah, maybe as time goes by, we'll get to know more about myself and interact. Youth advocacy for me basically means that me as an individual, I'm able to speak out on behalf of those who cannot speak out for themselves, ensuring that they know their rights, they understand their rights, ensuring that they get to benefit some other, can I say, they benefit from maybe opportunities with the government that may pass them by. Because most of the time you'd find it's hard to get in different spaces. Let's say maybe there are if there are financial budgeting or something of sort that maybe needs the youth to present their views, I get to have that chance to talk about them on behalf of the youth. So this, but I use my voice to spread these words, to spread this gospel to the youth, so that they are able to understand that such things exist and that sometimes they are needed in such spaces to, yeah.
Awesome. So I'm curious, did you grow up knowing you were to be a youth advocate or did it just catch you?
Now, how I got here. I professionally did community development, Bachelor's of Arts in Community Development. And when I was starting, I actually didn't want to do that course because I was like, where am I going to get a job from this? I used to think a lot about it. And then at some point, I even wanted to switch to another course. But then I just, you know what? Let me just try this and see how it pans out. So yeah, I did community development. And then after 4 years, I got the opportunity to volunteer with different organizations and interact with different people. And then with time, my passion grew about regarding the community. And then I realized that it was one of the best decisions that I was able to make, because now I get to interact with different people, and get to know what they're doing at the grassroots levels. Yeah, I think maybe when I was starting, it was not really my thing, but now I feel like it's the right call, it's the right choice that I made, and getting to make a difference in one way or another. Because I realized creating impact doesn't have to be big for it to be meaningful. Sometimes it's you giving a listening ear to someone who is in need, to someone who is facing a challenge, and maybe you're able to chip in. Yeah, so moment I'd say it's a career path that it was worth risking.
Yeah, I can even tell from how you're explaining it, you're really passionate about it. And there's something you said that. Do you feel like adults are giving young people or youth the listening ear that you're trying to advocate for, or is there a disconnect?
According to my opinion, next, because you'd find, maybe I'd use the word Gen Zs. We can listen to our own problems, we can listen to each other because we are able to relate. Unlike maybe millennials who may not relate to what we are going through right now, because maybe you'd find Gen Zs are more outspoken than millennials, and then millennials as us being disrespectful, for lack of a better word. So Gen Z, I think it's nice seeing that, because that disconnects. Sometimes it's hard to even approach someone older as a Gen Z to talk about something. But if you approach as a fellow youth, we can talk about things and maybe find solutions if we can. Yeah.
Interesting. So you say there's a disconnect too. Wonderful. So, in your advocacy, is there one scenario that really stands out for you when you're doing whatever you do that maybe you'd like to share with us, and maybe why it stood out?
I think something that has stood out for me, and even up to date, is since I joined these spaces, I've seen. I'll talk about women because they are the most people I've interacted with in this space. So I've seen different. I have friends who have different initiatives who are taking up these opportunities to help others. They have initiatives that supports teenage mothers. They have initiatives that supports youth and adolescents in making informed choices, making the right decisions about their lives, about their bodies. And it's a great thing because now considering if you look at back in time, you you were not do anything, like people would judge you based on what you're doing within the community, based on what you're doing, even within yourself. You'd sometimes judge yourself. But I have friends who are trying to do away with such mentality and bringing the edge to the grassroots level where people are able to make informed choices based on what they know. And then also making the difference in teenage pregnancies. We all know young mothers. We all know how the society has put young mothers to be borrow any mama, but trying to do away with that, reminding them that they're still girls, no matter what they have gone through, no matter, despite being a young mother, they're still girls and they should still embrace themselves. They should not go into that side of being a mother, like the society makes you to grow mapema, should I say that, when you're not even mature for that yet. So yeah, I think it's a great work interacting with such women who are doing great impacts. And maybe if you'd want to them, I can share their information. I can share. They have different organizations. One is called Anjaber, and then the other one is called Bodies and Boundaries Africa. So maybe you can check them out on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere you can find, and you can check and see what they're doing. It's a great job they're doing. It's an amazing job. Support where you can, and maybe add. You talked about organization dealing with tech. I don't know if maybe in the near future, we can link tech and these initiatives, maybe to see how we can help the youth, we can help the young women, the teenage mothers. Yeah. Maybe if you can consider in the future and work and partner together with them, I would love to see that happening because we all know that right now we are heading towards the tech tech world.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people are venturing into tech, and I think it's a knowledge that we need moving forward. Yeah, we need such knowledge to everyone, to those who cannot get such information, because opportunities are different for everyone. Sometimes you
Yeah.
get such, sometimes you don't. So maybe if we can take advantage of this, of the organization and their organizations, and then come together and work how we are moving forward in the tech world.
Yeah, trust me, that will be possible because whatever you're working on, my co-director, I know she's here. She's very passionate about what you do. So I know maybe after this, you two can have a one-on-one, or rather have a session. Then you see whatever comes out of that, my team will be available to assist. Now, in your bio, you talk about creating safe spaces. Maybe give us a context of what does a safe space look like in Tracy's world of advocacy.
A safe space for me looks like someone being able to approach me without the fear of judgment. The problem, whatever you have, you can talk to me about it. That's what I'm trying to create so that you don't feel judged, because the society already judges you enough. So why not create that space for someone who wants to speak out, for someone who wants to share their concerns, for someone who needs advice? I know I'm perfect. I know I don't have it all figured out, but imagine everyone creating a safe space for another person. Imagine how that community would look like. It would look like
Yeah.
people making informed choices, again, like I said, people having courage to do what they want to do, people having making the right decisions.
Hmm.
Yeah, so for me, safe space looks like it doesn't have to be like an enclosed room so that you talk to me. It starts from me, my surroundings. Are you do you feel safe enough to talk to me about something? Do you feel safe enough to approach me with? Yeah.
And I can imagine that. I mean, I'm listening as you're explaining. So in my head, I'm thinking you've faced pushback or rather rejection in whatever you're trying to do. I'm curious, how did you handle such a situation where maybe not everyone is agreeing with your thought process into what you want to achieve?
Yeah, of course we'll face rejection at some point. Even Jesus
Mhm.
faced rejection.
Good one.
Yeah, so we can't all expect to people to accept what we have and just
Mhm.
and expect us, I nearly say mahi, now you have to believe that. Again,
Mhm.
it's how you explain these things to the society, to the community, because many a times you'd find you're interacting with people who have that should I say the deep mentality, such that you can't remove hiyo mentality kutoka kwao, like let's say like things like female generation. You find things are still happening, you realize that things are still happening, but for you to be able to reach to this person and maybe to whoever is practicing these barbaric practices,
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard convincing these people. They've been practicing it generation to generation to generation to generation. Then they're trying to pass it to this current generation, and it may be difficult to convince them to, you know what, this is not right. It affects this girl. So most of the
Mhm.
time, it's not right. It's not easy for you to make a difference as you expected. But yeah, we embrace the positive changes that comes from the society, that comes from the community, how they are. Some are receptive, of course, some are not.
Mhm.
But we try to make change. I do try to make change one step at a time. You can't change the whole world.
The whole world, true. So, I mean, I like what you're doing to the younger generation and the your target audience. I'm just curious when it comes to leadership. Now that you say there's kind of a disconnect between you talk of the millennials and the Gen Zs. How does leadership look like for Gen Zs? Now that we're using the word, how does
uh,
leadership look? Yeah.
Leadership is the small initiatives. You can I
Yeah.
can I can refer to the Tukukadi initiative. That's
Mm-hmm.
leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't You don't have to be a president for you to be a leader. It starts
Mm-hmm.
within yourself. You taking up the initiative to do something different, to lead someone. If you feel like I can do this, and I can maybe call one or two to do something like the Chokokad initiative. It's one. It's the guy is a leader already. Si
Yeah.
lazima tumvote, and we already see him as a leader. And I think leadership is one thing that Gen Zs are taking up. They want to
Mm-hmm.
really make a difference, shift the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been taught the things we've known that inakwanga tu hivi. We want to shift the narrative, and I think Gen Zs are taking up the spaces for such.
Okay. So, what's one hard lesson you've learned all along your journey in this? Because I can already sense what you're going through or whatever you face. What is that one hard lesson you face, and how did you handle it?
One lesson I've learned is that you can't change everyone. When I was getting into this space, I used to think that if I already have the information, I
Yeah.
can share it with the other person, maybe they'll see it the way I see it. You see, you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shock find that they don't even see what you're seeing. You want to junior
Mm-hmm.
peke yako.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you too. It's a difficulty. So you can't change everyone, but when you wanna change, well and good. When hey, maybe
Okay.
with time they'll see your point of view.
Okay. So I know you probably have a Okay, let me start before I start the question. What does a perfect, let's assume you, whatever you're doing, let's forget all the difficult time things that you're going through. What's a perfect world look like when it comes to whatever you're engaging in? Nasema at this point, things are going according to how Tracy wants things to do. How does that perfect world look like?
A perfect world for me looks like people working freely within the communities,
Mm-hmm.
not your shoulder that someone is maybe following me, something will happen. For me, it's the freedom of
Yeah.
doing, moving anywhere you want,
Mm-hmm.
making it without being judged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm, wonderful. So, what's your future vision for whatever you're working on? I mean, I believe there's something that you're driving towards or to achieve. What's the vision for Tracy and whatever communities you're working with?
The vision is, of course, the core. The bottom line is to create, to make an impact, to create an impact, to make a difference, so that when I look like 10 years back, I'd see that this and this used to happen, but now it's not happening, or rather now it has reduced. I think for me, my vision is seeing that my work that I'm putting, the advocacy, is really making a difference for everyone. It doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't really have to be big, but this
Hmm. Hmm,
change
wonderful.
looks like you talking to someone. Sometimes change looks like you are sitting where you can. So yeah, for me, I think I'm not looking for perfectly changed environment or society or community, but I'm looking for a positive change whereby you can notice that things are shifting to a better place.
Hmm. Wonderful. I mean, I, I, I can relate to what you're trying to achieve, and I think you're the right person for it. I mean, not everyone can do what you're doing, and I'm talking from a position where I've dealt with communities, different with people with different mindsets, and I could just ask you, how is your mental fortitude when handling such situation? Because you get to a point where all the pressure now comes on you. So how do you get your Tracy time and just ease off and focus your mind to keep going?
But yeah, thing
Mhm.
sometimes you you face challenges that you're not even able to get over, but maybe with time you realize that actually these are things that are happening within the community and you have to make peace with it. But the only thing you can do is find a solution, help find a solution, because adolescents sometimes I think it's an age group that has been left out. People are talking about the youth, people are talking about the elders, but people are not talking about the same challenges they are facing. People are just expecting that
Mhm.
when you're a teenager growing up, but people have left out that age group and
Mhm.
what they're sharing. I've interacted one
Mhm.
on one with them and it's time. So what I usually do, I actually don't have a remedy. I just get used to what then
Yeah.
think of as
Mhm.
yeah.
And for me, I think don't even characterize, because the age group you're dealing with is adolescent. Adolescent is different from Gen Z when it comes to mindset and how they think, in my opinion. Because I don't know, this is me talking, it's your industry. An adolescent way of thought and a Gen Z, will it be the same? Or adolescent has unique problems different from Gen Z? Or is it the same demography?
They have unique problems.
Hmm.
So I'd say because now they're now the ones growing up, they're
Yeah.
bound to face the challenges that maybe you're facing. That's why I'm here. Someone else is here trying to make the difference so that they don't get to face these challenges that we're facing as Gen Z. Because I'm pretty sure that the coming generation, if we talk about expressing themselves freely, they will do that. Like us who are trying to now maneuver within the spaces because of rejection, of course.
Hmm.
We're not. out, but Gen Z na kina nani still speak out. Nothing stops us. Nothing deters us. So the adolescents, they also facing quite different challenges. More
Mm-hmm.
some to the youth, of course, but some not. Yeah, because now they also don't have experience with life. Yeah, I'm missing experience, but I've already experienced what they have experienced. So now we're trying
Mm-hmm.
to come and do away with some challenges, because especially in the informal settlements, there
Mm-hmm.
are that are happening, and maybe for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But working with them has made me realize that they actually need people like us to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you that question is in the audience we have, I think, a couple represent from Baraton University, and it will also be, I think some of them would be within that range. So it is quite some good stuff you're doing. And for me, is to encourage you to continue what you're doing. And in any way that we can be of help, just reach out. We'll see however way we can assist to help you continue with your journey, because that's why we create communities for such kind of conversations. We might not be as skilled as you when it comes to talking to an adolescent and maybe getting to have them be free to open up. So I really appreciate what you're saying.